Hello guys, welcome to Agave Tales, the podcast about agave. Today I'm really happy we are with Mr. Lorenzo Piscitello.
Hello.
Hello mate, thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's such a pleasure to have you here. How are you feeling? All good?
All good. So far, all good.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, so obviously today we're going to talk about agave, we're going to talk about Artesian, you, Patron Perfectionist, so on. But first, let's start with some quick fire questions.
Let's go.
Okay. What's your favorite underrated cocktail?
You know, my favorite underrated cocktail, I think it's mojito.
A mojito?
Yes.
It's funny because it's not really underrated, but for a bartender, it is.
Yeah, well, you know, it's always fun when you do an interview as a bartender and they ask you, which one is your favorite cocktail? And everyone, Hanky Panky, Manhattan.
Yeah.
Mine is mojito.
A good mojito.
Because remember, like, when I drink mojito, when I'm on holiday on the beach, and I enjoy.
It's nice because you're going back to the point that a cocktail can be really good depending on where you are and with who you are, right? Yeah, that's great.
And the moment.
The moment, yeah. So how do you like your mojito? Because you know there's different, like some people put like lemonade, some people put dark brown sugar or like sugar syrup. Like, how do you like yours?
Actually, mine, I like it very simple. I like with caster sugar. I like to feel a bit the sugar while I'm drinking.
Yeah.
Fresh mint, a lot of rum.
A lot of rum.
And touch of soda. Easy.
Nice. Do you know a mezcal mojito is really good as well?
Yeah?
Yeah, you should try it. Mezcal and mint goes really well together. Anyway.
Tonight.
Yeah, tonight. Can you remember the first ever cocktail you made?
The first ever cocktail, yes. Actually, in Italy, I studied hospitality school.
Yeah.
And in my exam, at the end of the third year, they asked me to make a sex on the beach. And actually, like a couple of weeks ago, I was on my Facebook and I saw the picture of that sex on the beach. Was horrible. But I passed the exam. So it was
Fair enough.
It was a good memory.
No, so it's funny. Your favorite cocktail is the mojito and your first ever cocktail is sex on the beach. That's really funny.
Exactly. Oh, everything is connected.
Yeah. If you had an animal on top of your bar spoon, what would it be?
An animal on top of my bar spoon? I think a rabbit.
A rabbit?
Yes.
Any reason?
Because I have a tattoo of a rabbit
on
really?
my...
Yes. I was in Mexico and one night I was walking and in Mexico, I don't know if you know like the alberijes.
Yeah.
Like imaginary animals, like a mix between other animals, different animals. And while I was walking, I saw this rabbit with the long hair and I was like, I love this alberique. So I bought it and then I found a tattoo guy in a bar. We were drinking in handshake. I saw the tattoo guy artist. I was like, so do you make tattoo? He was like, yes. Can you make me this tattoo? Like, yeah, of course. When? Tomorrow. Perfect. Boom. Tattoo.
Nice. That's great. Tricky question. Zidane or Nedved?
Oh my God.
I mean, for me, it's really easy, but as a Juventus fan, I'm not sure what you're going to say.
I would say Nedved, La Furia Cieca. But also okay. Zidane.
No, fair enough.
Also, Zidane is pure class, but Nedved... my first game at the stadium, I remember Nedved.
Fair enough. And then what did you get for breakfast this morning?
This morning, eggs and orange juice.
Nice, classic.
It's easy.
Okay, Mr. Lorenzo. So you obviously, as you say, you studied in Italy in a botany school. And also, you've been working in Barcelona, right?
Yeah.
And you came to London to be a bartender in First Soul House.
Yeah.
Amazonico.
Yeah.
And now the Artesian, right?
Yes.
Pretty solid career so far. Why did you come to London and why did you become a bartender originally?
So, my story started when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
My teacher at the school, he wanted to send me for like my summer season.
Yeah.
To work in St. Moritz in this extra luxury 5-star hotel as a waiter. I never liked to be a waiter. Like, I'm very bad as a waiter. And I rejected the offer. He got very upset with me. And I went to Jesolo, close to Venice, to work in this camping as a bartender-ish. And it was beautiful. Like, I think the best 3 months of my life. So from that moment, I decided I wanted to become a bartender. Actually, the first time I moved from Italy, I went to Paris.
Oh, really?
to work as a bartender, but it didn't work. I was too young and I didn't get the job. I was a bit, I felt alone. So after that, I moved to Spain. I went to Palma de Mallorca and I got this job in this beautiful cocktail bar on the beach where I washed a lot of glasses. And then I moved to Barcelona and I had one of the best years of my life because at the beginning it was very, very hard. I didn't get straight away the job that I wanted. I actually started to work from 4 p.m. to midnight in a Mexican cocktail bar. We were selling mojito and margaritas for €1. So imagine what a quality.
Wow.
And in the morning I was selling shoes because I had to get a proper salary to survive.
Yeah.
I was getting €600 from one place and €600 working 18 hours per day. So €1,200 dying at the end of the month. But then, I started to meet people, and always try to work hard. I started to work for the W Hotel in Barcelona, another beautiful experience. And then I worked as a bartender for this opening for a bar called Blue Spot. It was a beautiful spot that Shakira and Gruppo Tracalus opened. And I came to London because I was feeling very bad because I could speak Spanish perfectly, but I didn't know not even one word of English. My ex-girlfriend at the time, she was very good speaking English, with other people. I was very jealous about that. So when I had the opportunity, I was like, you know what? I'm moving to London. I restart everything from zero. I was 22. Mm-hmm. So I just jumped and I tried. I was very lucky. I got this job in Soho House, a beautiful company. And after that, I work harder and now I'm working at Artesian. That actually was my dream from the beginning because the first bar that I visited in London was Artesian bar.
Oh, really?
Yes, I remember that was my first day in London actually. And I entered in the bar and I saw Remy Sauvage doing this throwing, the technique that he has. And I was like, wow, he's doing another job. What I'm doing here, I don't know anything. And I actually asked him, I was like, sorry, but what do I have to do to come to work here? And he looked at me, I was like, you just have to work hard to learn and apply. And never know, one day. And I got the job. And I told him, when I got the job, he was one of the first guests that we had at the bar. And I told him, now I'm here.
Well, what was the difference between when that happened and when you started work at the Artesian?
4 years almost.
4 years then. So it took you 4 years, really?
I applied many times.
Wow.
A funny fact of my application in Artesian is that I think I sent more than 20 CV. They never called me. And once I noticed that they opened a position as a head bartender in Wigmore. And I applied. And I was inside. I was watching a football game that day in the stadium. And I received a call straight away after 20 minutes. So I left the stadium. I answered the phone and there was the HR, HR lady, and she told me, hello, Lorenzo, how are you? We noticed that you applied for a position. I was like, yes. Are you still interested? Look, honestly, I'm not. It's like, what do you mean? You just applied? Yes, I know, but I applied 20 times for Artesian and you never answered to me. So at least now I can tell you by voice that I would like to work there. Also as a junior, I just want a place there. And she laughed and she told me, look, I don't know who you are, but we'll make sure that the manager of Artesian will have your CV. And they called me after 1 week.
That's insane. It's like if the door is closed, just go through the window, right?
Yeah.
But that's insane. Wow. So, now you're at the Artesian, senior bartender at the Artesian. How is it?
It's amazing. I'm very happy. Actually, now those are my last 2 weeks there.
Right.
I had 2.5 beautiful years. I loved to work there. I learned a lot, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I had.
How is it to work in a place so prestigious, such a history with Simone Caporale and Catena, and then Remy Savage, and many other people, great people that work there, being one of the most awarded cocktail bar in the last 10 years? how is it to just be there? Like, is there a lot of pressure, or is it actually everything kind of like goes your way because it's such a great bar? Or
it's a lot of pressure. Like, I felt a lot of the pressure at the beginning. I'm very honest. I started to work there at the end of November, and like in the middle of December, I got the COVID, and I was very happy. I was like, yes, and I was positive. Yes, I can stay home because I felt so much the pressure. Like, for me, was an honor to be there behind that bar with that uniform. I was a huge fan of what they were doing, and I felt a lot the responsibilities. Also because like when a guest comes to the bar, you know, it's not like a normal bar, that one. When the guest comes to the bar, he's expecting something, and it's our responsibilities to provide that. And that's the hardest part, because when they are having with that high expectation, to maintain that level, it's very, very hard. Also, sometimes if you do out of 100, you do 90, for them it's not enough because they are used to 150. So every day is a challenge there. And but then you get used to it. Like, at the end, it's part of the challenge. But at the beginning, I suffered a lot. At the beginning, it was hard.
Fair enough. Well, what do you think about the difference between working like Artesian, like hotel bars in general, and like a bit more like a regular bar? For example, there's a lot of people that say that some hotels bars shouldn't really be like at the same level than other cocktail bars because at the end of the day, it's not like with the same walls and everything. But for me, at the end, it's still a bar, you know, like.
For me, it's still a bar. It's different because, I mean, it's very different because like in a hotel bar, you have some advantage, but you also have some disadvantage.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Like, in a street bar, you are free to do whatever you want without, like if the owner of the place allows it, you're free to do whatever you want. In a hotel bar, you have like a lot of managers to step, like you need to, for whatever, like if, for example, an hotel bar has a lot of budget, but if I have to buy something, I need to request to my manager. My manager has to request to his manager. Then the request has to go to the director, then has to go to Hong Kong, then they approve it at the end because the budget is there. But before to reach the big boss, probably you lost already 1 month. While in a street bar, if you need something and the owner can buy it, boom, boom, and he buys.
Oh, really? It takes that long?
Yeah. I mean,
Depends on what, I guess.
I like the hotel bars. Also, as a worker, you have a lot of benefits, a lot of good stuff. But I think it's hospitality, like you have different guests, also like between a street bar and a hotel bar. It's different, but in the same time, I think it's part of the job. I think a nice bartender should be able to do both. A good bartender.
Yeah, no, of course. Obviously, you have a lot of different spirits in Artesian, but you have a decent agave selection as well?
Yeah, we do.
But it's not the main focus, but how much agave consumption there is in Artesian?
I think quite good. Of course, I mean, our biggest, like the bigger sellers are still gin and whiskeys.
Yeah.
But I think also like as the agave, so tequila and mezcal, are growing a lot in the USA, we have a lot of guests from USA.
Ah, okay.
Actually now we have a lot of people that are coming, they want to drink that tequila, that mezcal, because they know what's behind, they know they start to learn. So I think it's increasing every year more. Like also when I started in London, I remember like, also in Barcelona, we had like a couple of bottles of tequila. Now the selection is becoming huge, like because the people, they start to know more. And I think because the movement of the agave is growing a lot and very fast.
What about you? What's your story with agave spirits?
My story with agave spirits. I love tequila. I love mezcal. I went to Mexico 2 years ago, and I was very lucky to visit a distillery of mezcal. Was beautiful. It's like a very small distillery in Mexico. It was beautiful, like to see how they were, how like how much love they put behind the product that they were making. And
Proper artisanal mezcal.
proper artisanal mezcal, yeah. And I have in my mind the days like was incredible. Like, for me, it was one of the best experiences I had in my life.
You've been in Mexico on a business trip sort of, or was it just holidays and you just happened to?
You know, actually, it was a business trip. I did it with Julia a takeover in Anki Panki
Oh, cool.
in Mexico City. And then we went 3 days in Oaxaca, a beautiful place. Like Oaxaca, beautiful place, beautiful food, amazing people. Incredible.
Great. And you also have a cocktail on the Artesian menu based on tequila,
Yeah.
right? The Moringa.
Yes.
How did you come up with that idea, that like pairing with Italicus Moringa?
So the concept of our menu is still now the future. So each cocktail is focused on one ingredient that, as a futuristic, we think that is good for us and also for the planet. And I choose the Moringa in this case because it's a superfood, contains a lot of vitamins, proteins, potassium, and can grow everywhere, doesn't need a lot of water to grow, and it's good for the planet because it produces a lot of oxygen and reduce CO2. Moringa is like similar to matcha, so I thought that these herbal notes will work very well with my drink. So I distill it to take the herbal notes, but not the bitter. Then I wanted to add like these bergamot notes with a touch of sweetness. So I add like a little bit of Italicus to minimize the waste. There is some lime juice, but instead to use the traditional lime juice, in Artesian we squeeze every day fresh lime, and at the end of the night we throw it away. Instead to throw it away, I decided to redistill the lime and to recreate the flavor of the lime with its sugars and acids. Yeah, the job was done.
Amazing. To be fair, I had the chance to try your drink like a few months ago, and beautiful drink, highly recommended. So the Artesian has a bit of a past with Patron Perfectionist. Obviously, Julia Cucururo, she won the global final 2-3 years ago, and you've been to the UK final twice in a row, the 2 last editions. How did you enter to this competition, and was your love of tequila or Patron or competition in general? How did you find inspirations for it?
I think it's a mix of all of this. Like Julia was an inspiration because, of course, like you're a head bartender, you see how much love she has for the product, so she inspires you. Like you see what she gets, like, and also like the love for tequila, and also I like to compete, and for me, Patron was always a big challenge. Also because Julia won it, so the challenge was also bigger.
Yeah.
And it was a mix of this.
How was it to have her as a judge like all the time?
Actually, this was the hardest part.
Yeah, I can guess.
First of all, because in my point of view, it's very hard because she knows me very well. So she knows when I am natural, when I'm not, if I'm stressed, if I'm not. She wants, like, the expectation on my sides are high. So she's very critical. And also, like, it's hard because other competitors can think that you are helped from her, like if you win or not, but actually it's totally the opposite.
The opposite.
I think it's the opposite. But I also think that she loves that much that brand and her job, that she's very, very professional in whatever she's doing. And when she's judging, she doesn't care if I am Lorenzo, I'm Ben, or, you know, like,
yeah.
For her, she's judging what you are doing in that moment, not the person behind.
And so how was it to do the finals twice in a row?
I mean, Patron, I love Patron, but I think that Patron Perfection is a beast. Like it's an amazing competition. It's the work that they do behind, it's incredible, like the organization, whatever. It's wow. but it's also very hard.
It's really hard.
I remember like both times I was destroyed like mentally at the end, like, wow. It's like a truck steps on you. And the first time I remember that Gianluca called me. I didn't expect to be in the final, honestly with you. I was in top 50. The guys came to the bar to charge the drink. And then after that, I went to Thailand in holiday. And Gianluca called me in a video call. And I was on the swimming pool with my flower chain and my hat. And it's like, Lorenzo, I have to tell you something. What? You are in the final. And I answered in Spanish. What? ¿Qué dice? And then he had to cut me because I was speaking Spanish. And I started to have a party because I was with a cocktail. And that was my first final of Patron Perfectionist. It was very hard. If you remember, like they give us, you were in final with me.
Yeah, it was. And actually, when you said that it was really hard in a long period, I felt the same. Like I think it took 2 months of my life.
Yeah.
But like I felt it. I remember the week after Patron Perfectionist, I was like destroyed. I was like,
yeah,
mentally. But then eventually, after you understand that it was like such a great adventure. But
yeah, you are so grateful when finished.
Everything was so amazing. But yeah, just after you kind of crush and you're like, wow.
Yes.
That was intense.
And that's the feeling that you have. Also, like I liked it to do because so the first year I did it was good. Unfortunately, I forgot the tequila.
We have to speak about that story. I think for me it's an amazing story.
Yes.
So obviously, you had one of the greatest cocktail, but you forgot to put the tequila.
Yes. So
but somehow you used it the next year.
Yes. So I mean, when Gianluca called me and he told me that I was in final, as I say, I was in Thailand. So I spent the rest of my holiday thinking, what's next? Because I had to make 2 cocktails in 15 days, like 2 weeks.
That was the hardest part for me.
And I was in Thailand. In all of this, I was in Thailand. So imagine like my girlfriend in holiday with me, looking at me during the night, watching the sea and thinking, what's next for Patrón? I have to do something. I have to create something. And I was on my Instagram and I saw one picture of one dish from a very famous Michelin star chef with this lemon with mold on the top. And I was like, wow. And that was a dessert. So I started to investigate. I was like, okay, I have to go. I have to try to make it. And one of the challenge of this competition was to use 3 times the same ingredients. So in my mind, I wanted to do an orange with mold, with the drink inside, and the concept was to drink the cocktail and then to eat the mold. You know, like when you forget the orange in the fridge, that you open the fridge and you have the orange full of mold.
Yeah.
And that was the concept. I was so focused to explain to the judges how I create the mold, why it was safe, and all the treatment that I did behind. I was so focused to explain this part that I totally forgot to put the tequila, and I will never forget this moment because honestly, I never tried the drink before because to make this orange was like 10 days, and actually the 10th day was the day of the final. So I knew that I was going behind the bar, I was making the drink, and I didn't know if the drink was staying inside the orange or was just dropping. So my mind was focused on that. When I poured the drink inside the orange and I saw that worked, I was so happy. I just put the orange with the mold and the straw in front of the judges. I left the bar. My girlfriend looked at me and was like, you smashed it, good. I was so happy. And then I will never forget Harrison, one of the judges, looked at me and was like, sorry, Lorenzo, how much tequila did you put? And with my eye, I look at the bottle of Patrón Añejo, full, still close, like 50 ml. Are you sure? 100%. And I left. I was like, I didn't put the tequila, I can't believe it. So,
yeah, it happens a lot. Huh? I've heard a lot of stories like that.
For me, it was I was destroyed after this. You know, because like when something like this happen, like, and you work that much behind something, and then you are out, not because someone was better than you, that this can happen, like, but
Your own fault.
you're out because you eliminated your own fault, you eliminated yourself. And I was like, I can't believe I throw away 1 month of my life like this. Like, and so for the following year, so for this year, I had in my mind, I have to do Patron Perfectionist, and I have to give to the judge the shot of tequila that I forgot last year. So was my only goal of the competition. And this year I worked so much. I did it for 2 reasons. First of all was that one, and the second one was that the competition this year was super challenging, because the challenge was to make a drink inspired to your favorite city, but then you had the semi-finals of London, final, national final, and then global. So the level was extremely high.
Yeah.
And was full of amazing bartenders. And I was like, I have to do that. Like, I have to give the shot of tequila that I forgot last year. So I worked so hard. I think I tried my speech this year 500 times. I knew exactly every movement that I had to do behind the bar.
I could tell. I was there that day. I could tell. It was like, I was blown away, to be fair.
And I was, at the moment that I left the bar, I decided to close my speech. A friend of mine was giving a shots to everyone that was hearing my speech without the judges noticing him. And I left like a shot of tequila for myself on the corner of the bar, because I wanted to finish leaving the bar with the judge thinking what he's doing, and then say, ladies and gentlemen, this is my drink, and this is the shot that I forgot last year with everyone else with the shot. And for me, this was the moment where I did, you know what, I did it. Then I can win, I cannot, I don't care. Like, this is what I wanted.
The redemption.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I worked so hard for this moment. And the final of this year was, honestly, also the national was amazing. The level was extremely high.
Yeah, Gianluca told me in the previous episode that it was one of the highest level that you've seen for a while.
Yeah, I give the 200% of myself. I lost against Nathan. That, wow, blowing mind. Like, it was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
Under all the point of view. I was very impressed about like how it was focused on every detail. So, like when you compete, you can win and you can lose. But when you lose against someone like this, you remove your hat and say, you know what, man.
Next time.
Next time. It was amazing. But I'm very proud. I won my Margarita challenge.
What was your margarita?
So my Margarita was inspired by this trip that I did in Mexico.
Yeah.
I did, I had to do a Margarita with a Mexican product. So I closed my eyes. I was thinking like, what made me feel like I want to feel something that I felt in Mexico, and I want to represent it with this Margarita. And one of the strongest memories that I have in Mexico is when I visit the Jamaican market of Mexico City. If you go to Mexico City, visit this market. It's beautiful. So it's a huge market in the middle of the city with like a lot of people, a lot of flowers, a lot of food. And something that I have in my mind was this stand like full of corn. And I remember also that my manager, my assistant manager, Christian, he told me, for the Mexican product, don't use corn because it's gonna be very hard to extract the flavor, and a lot of people will do that, and probably they will fail. So when he said that, what do you think I used? Corn. Because I'm like, I have to extract the flavor of the corn, no matter what. And it was super challenging. I spent a lot of nights in the lab trying in 2,000 different ways how to extract the flavor of the corn, because also one of the challenges was to keep it simple. So, no fermentation, no... At the end, I got it, and I was very happy with the results, and the drink was tequila, corn, a liquor made with pico de gallo sauce. So was coriander, onion, and tomatoes.
Homemade, okay.
Homemade.
Nice.
Very easy. Honestly, I just use like a plain spirit, and then I reduce the plain spirits with onion water, tomato water, and coriander water.
That's smart.
And I give like a bit of spiciness. So, and I remember that when I did this drink, I knew that I had two chefs judging me. So I wanted to go for, like, I had to risk, because what's something that they know how it tastes. I was like, more or less like a taco, like a tostada.
Yeah.
And I remember the eyes that they did when they tried the drink. I was like, okay, I got a flavor. I reached the point.
So how did you extract the corn?
So it was very hard. I had to boil the corn for like hours. And so, I tried in 1,000 different ways, and it was very hard to get the flavor of the corn. So at the end, I thought, like, why instead of to boil the corn in the normal water, I can use the water of the can of the corn.
Yeah.
So I cooked the corn like that. Then, like, I just like centrifuge everything. I just removed because the corn has a lot of starch, and that's the hardest part. If you blend it, you extract more flavor, but you get all the starch also. So yeah, just boiling, cooking, and waiting, because like the main flavor of the corn is in the stem.
Okay, Lorenzo, thank you so much for your time. Before you're leaving, I'm going to ask you if you have any recommendations.
So first of all, thank you so much for inviting me.
A pleasure.
My recommendation as a bar or as a spot,
It can be your favorite bars that you want to people to go or discover, or it can be your favorite spot, like even for traveling, or your favorite tequila at the moment, your favorite mezcal that you tried recently.
No, like my favorite bars, like in London. I will say, I love institution like hotel bars like Connaught, amazing, like incredible. For me, still one of the best bars in the world. The other day I've been to Col Mezcaleria. I think like the level is extremely high over there.
I love this bar.
I love like they are doing the job properly. I really like this kind of places. Also, like I just came back from a trip in Colombia.
Nice.
And I visit, like if you have the opportunity, I go there. I fell in love with Cartagena. I've been to it in an amazing place called Celele, one of the 50 best restaurants in Latin America. Incredible. Like one of the, my mind was blowing when I was there. And also Alquimico, incredible. Like the level was extremely high. Like a lot of fermentation, they work with that typical product, so 0 kilometers. The guys are doing like a very good job, and I was very impressed.
Yeah, we'd love to go one day.
And if around London at the end of April, I'll be working, as I told you that I'm finishing in Artesian, I'm starting a new project, and I'll be working as a head bartender in a new cocktail bar that is opening inside Raffles, and it's going to be called Kyoku by Endo. We'll have the restaurant with the chef Endo and a cocktail sake bar that I'm very excited to start this new project.
Amazing. Well, I'll come to check it out for sure. Yeah. Okay. Well, Lorenzo, thank you so much for being with us. That was super interesting.
Thank you.
And we hope all the best for your new adventure.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Salud.
Salute.